Hi, I'm Geneva Long, CEO of Bowlus, and today we have this beautiful 2024 Bowlus Volterra that we just got in on trade. So a certified pre-owned Volterra. And I'm going to tell you all about this, go through all the specs, open every drawer, tell you all of the features. But before we get started, let me first tell you all about Bowlus in case you've never heard of us before. So Bowlus is the original riveted aluminum travel trailer. Yes, before all others. It has a phenomenal history going back all the way to the 1930s. The original designer of Bowlus had a history in aviation and sailplane design, which is why the Bowlus looks as it does. Incredibly aerodynamic, made of all aircraft grade aluminum. Some key things to know about Bowlus. First of all, it's incredibly lightweight. So this Bowlus has a 4,000-pound GVWR, towable by a huge range of tow vehicles, small SUVs, and of course bigger trucks as well, but so very lightweight. You can move it around by hand as well. Next, the Bowlus has incredible build quality. If you go online, you'll see that the Bowlus has the best build quality of any RV in the industry. Why is this? First of all, it's because of the materials we select. So we use all aircraft grade aluminum, all aircraft grade rivets, incredible real wood, no laminates inside, and then we build everything in-house. So we build our walls in-house, we build our frames in-house, we build our exteriors in-house. Most RV manufacturers are simply assemblers, so they're buying all of these parts from another supplier and assembling things in-house. But at Bowlus, we are so purist that we build absolutely everything. So when you go inside a Bowlus, that fit and finish is perfection. No gaps along the walls, no sealant that wasn't cleaned up. The Bowlus is made for perfection. And then off-grid time. So this Volterra has a 17 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. It has 240 watts of AeroSolar up on the roof. It can also do additional solar with suitcase style solar panels, which I'll demo for you as well. But that means this Bowlus is designed to go off-grid. With any RV, you can of course take it to a campground, but most RVs are not meant to go anywhere where you can't be plugged in. And we at Bowlus see that as critical to the performance experience. I want to be able to camp places off-grid. I want to go to BML land. I want to go to state parks, national parks that were built back in the 1930s around the same time the original Bowluses were, that don't have any hookups. And I want that experience to be the same experience to be if I was plugged in. So I want to be able to run my air conditioning off-grid, which of course this can. I want to be able to charge all my devices. I want to be able to use a Starlink Mini. And that's why we design everything from a holistic perspective. So I'll show you all about how that works. And then off pavement. So of course the Bowlus isn't an off-road vehicle, and this Volterra does not have the 3-inch lift and all-terrain tires that we offer on our current 2026 lineup, but it is still really great for off-pavement use, dirt roads, gravel roads at slow and reasonable speeds. That aircraft grade aluminum is meant to go off the beaten path, and you have phenomenal clearance even without that additional lift. You'll usually find the clearance of the Bowlus is even higher than the clearance of your tow vehicle. So before I get into all of these features, let's first talk about what certified pre-owned means. So certified pre-owned means that we've gotten this Bowlus in and it's fit certain criteria already. It's never been rented out. It's never been in a collision. It's never had water damage. It's never had fire damage. We are selecting the very best examples for our certified pre-owned program. Then when we take it in, the same technicians that built this go through the Bowlus entirely, do the full 252-point inspection. So this Bowlus is looking fantastic, almost like new as the first day it was delivered. And then we give it a warranty. So it comes with a 1-year certified pre-owned warranty. It also comes with 1 year of 24/7 access to roadside assistance and technical support, and that can be continued after the first year as well. And when you purchase from us, it comes with access to our fully mobile service network. Now, let me tell you a bit about this because it's very different from what most RV dealers do. Most RV dealers want you to just come back to their dealership for service, and we do offer that as well. So you can always return to the Bowlus factory in Oxnard, California for service. But when you purchase from us, we have a fully mobile service network. So that means if you need service while you're on the road, whether that be closer to your home or even somewhere more remote, we are able to dispatch a mobile technician for you to be able to repair your issue, whether that be a warrantable repair or whether that be something that you need to have replaced or regular maintenance. And that just gives you the flexibility to travel with peace of mind. And also, while I'm thinking of it, all Bowluses can ship directly to you. So we're here right now in Bowlus of Santa Barbara, which is the exclusive Bowlus dealership. But you don't have to be close to us here in California to have your Bowlus delivered directly to you. All right, let's get into it on this 2024 Volterra. So let's get into this 2024 Volterra. The Volterra was the world's first all-electric RV, but this owner decided to option it with the propane tank because they were coming from the Northeast. So you've probably seen this evolution of all-electric RVs. Now, Bowlus was the first to do all-electric RVs back in 2022, as well as the world's first all-electric RV company. Now, the thing about electric RVs is they are fantastic in moderate climates. But the one thing that electric RVs are not going to do for you, and let's face it, most RVs can't do this for you either, is take you to winter camping. Now, the Bowlus is built for winter camping. And so that was one of the obstacles for all electric that we needed to overcome. And so we provided the propane tank option for those of our customers who were still looking to go winter camping. So the Bowlus is an all 4 seasons RV. Why is that? Our water tanks are going to be inside, our water lines are going to be inside, and we have that hydronic heating system. I'll go over all that, but if you're buying an RV, you want it to have that hydronic heating system. No forced air, no heat pumps, don't do it, you'll regret it. And so you want that hydronic heating system. And in very cold temperatures, I'm talking camping in Canada in the winter, I'm talking camping in the mountains, using the Bowlus as your ski lodge next to the hill, you're going to need propane because when you have big temperature differentials, you need propane to make up that difference. Electric is going to be fine for more moderate climates, but you're going to want a hybrid RV or with a propane tank if you plan to be doing that winter camping. And then of course, you also need to select an RV that's made for winter camping. If you're going to the dealer and they're telling you, well, just inflate the skirts around, or we have tank heaters, you're going to be making a mistake. You will not be able to be winter camping and you're going to be sad about it. So find an RV that's actually 4 seasons with the water tanks inside, with the water lines inside, and with that hydronic heating system. So that's the propane tank here. You've got the 4 clips here that clip off. The top comes off, so we have that beautiful polished 2024 T3 aluminum on top, and then we have a fiberglass propane tank inside. You just take that out, take it over to the propane fill station to have it filled. Super lightweight, which is fantastic. Also on this 2024 Volterra, we have the propane tap, so you can tap right into here for your propane style barbecues. So now let's talk about the door. The door on the Bowlus is incredibly special because it has a 2-way curve. So both top to bottom, it's curved, and then port to starboard, it's curved. Why does this matter to you? Aerodynamics, fantastic center of gravity. So everything is down low in the Bowlus, and once we go inside, you'll see all of that. But it's interesting, the front surface area that's exposed when you're towing is really just from above this window and up. And you can tell because that's gonna be where you get bugs on your trailer when you're towing. And so you have a very minimal front surface area that's getting exposed above your tow vehicle, because of course your tow vehicle is coming about to here. And we have that really beautiful door. We have only commercial grade locks on the Bowlus, no RV locks. Again, that's very important. If you're going and you're testing those RV locks and they feel like plastic, does that feel secure to you? It does not feel secure to me. I want commercial grade locks on my RV. And that's why we have this. So we have 2 locks here. The one in the 2024 Volterra also has the key code as well as the physical key as well for that deadbolt lock. So that's kind of fun. And then let's move on to this hitch. So overall specs for this 2024 Volterra, it has a dry weight of 3,200 pounds. It has a GVWR of 4,000 pounds. So that's going to be you need a tow vehicle that can tow 4,000 pounds. And then it has a hitch weight, depending on how it's loaded, between 200 to 400 pounds. Now that's the one thing, hitch weight, that a lot of people don't talk about. Everyone wants to just focus on GVWR, and that's nice, but it's only half of the story. In most RVs, you have a very heavy hitch weight. It's how they solve the fact that they're not very balanced and how they solve the fact that they don't make their own frames. But you have a low tongue weight in the Bowlus, which means you can move it around by hand. We'll drop in a video of me moving trailers around by hand in this showroom to show you how easy it is. And it also means that you can tow it with a huge variety of tow vehicles, because the second thing that you need to check on your tow vehicle is what hitch weight it can tow, or what its payload is. That's how much weight you can put onto that vehicle. So in the Bowlus, it's between 200 to 400 pounds, depending on how it's loaded. Now, all in the manual will tell you how to load your Bowlus. Sometimes that's moving most of your gear up into the middle if you have a full water tank, so that it can continue to be perfectly balanced. But it's very easy. We don't put the ability for you to put things where they shouldn't be, which is all in the back on the axle, because we already have things like the water tanks, like the batteries in that area. So all of your storage is going to be in all of the other rooms, and it's very ample, and you'll see when we go inside the Volterra. But back to that hitch, you'll also notice that we don't have any weight equalization hitches, anti-sway bars. We don't need those with a well-balanced Bowlus. So we just have this simple setup, and that's what you want, because it means you can hitch in under a minute. You crank this down right on top of your tow ball, secure this. You've got the safety cables. Those are connecting in. You've got the breakaway chain. You've got the 7-pin. You will need a brake controller. You can either get the Kurt Echo, which is a Bluetooth brake controller that just plugs in from the 7-pin in your tow vehicle to this 7-pin plug, or if your vehicle already has a 7-pin, that's cool too, and you're on your way ready to go. This is also fantastic for electric vehicles. We have lots of electric vehicle content. If you're wanting to tow with your electric SUV, Bowlus is the best RV to select, because you get up to 73% of EPA range when towing. And it's also really important to have an RV that's easy to unhitch, because at charging stations, you're most likely going to be unhitching your RV, parking it in another parking station, taking your electric vehicle over to the charging station, charging it up, and then hitching up again. So you're going to be hitching up more frequently, and you're going to want that to be easy. And then speaking of towing experience, we already talked about that low center of gravity, but the other important feature is that there are not any flat sides inside the Bowlus. Well, there is a flat side. It's about, 3 feet tall, and I'll show you exactly where that is, but everything is curved in the Bowlus. And so you don't have that experience of having the wind hitting a flat wall. If you've ever driven a van in a very heavy wind area, you know exactly what this feeling is. You're gripping the wheel, you're holding it tight, it's stressful, it's not enjoyable. I've driven the Bowlus in up to 70 mile/hour winds and had absolutely no problem, because there's no place to feel that wind. It just goes up and over those curved surfaces. Now let's bring you around and show off this step. So you have a really great step on the Bowlus. You also have a step light, and this step does fold up for additional ground clearance. Let's bring you along the other side now. So when we're on the outside, the first thing that people notice is that beautiful polished aluminum exterior, and it's different. We use 2024 T3 all-clad aluminum, which is the same alloy that planes are built out of. So this is aircraft grade aluminum. We use structural aircraft grade rivets as well that secure this entire shell. We use a TIG welded space frame, that's aluminum as well, underneath. And the exterior is kind of like a lobster, or how they build planes, which is that the frame holds the shape for those aluminum panels, but the strength of the Bowlus comes from those aluminum panels together, like an exoskeleton, if you will. Now, there's a lot of different types of aluminum alloy. Aluminum is not just aluminum, as we know from all using a piece of aluminum foil. And so I've brought 2 pieces of aluminum with me today. First is going to be the Bowlus piece of aluminum, that 2024 T3. And you can see just how incredibly strong it is, and that tensile strength is really incredible. And then I have a 3000 series piece of aluminum, which is the type of aluminum that other travel trailers are made from. And you can see just the difference in the alloy is really quite substantial, even though they are the same thicknesses. So it's not about thickness, it's about alloy, and it's about the type of tensile strength that each of those alloys contain. And then we polish that aluminum exterior. So the beauty of having a T3 all-clad aluminum exterior is that it can be polished again and again, which is exactly what we did with this certified pre-owned. So this Bowlus had been used for 2 years, very substantially in cold climates, and as you can see, still looks incredibly fantastic after a light polish. We also redid that ceramic coating. All new Bowluses come with a ceramic coating on the exterior, which just helps the water bead off. That should be reapplied once a year, and that just had that ceramic coating put on top of it as well. So it is ready to go. Let's get into the features on this side of the Bowlus. First of all, we have that incredible outdoor storage. Those 2 compartments, both of them are lockable. And so I have this one here. There, and that outdoor storage is going to go from this rivet line all the way back to this rivet line here. So you've got 2 of those hatches. You have 1 hatch here that also has the outdoor plug in it. So that's perfect for adding a Starlink Mini for staying connected. So you would plug in the Starlink Mini here and then have that routed out. You actually already have the pre-wiring for that here as well. And then you have the outdoor storage on this side, which we have the 30 amp and 15 amp cord, as well as the awning. The awning can go on either side. That's the awning rail right there. It has 2 secure points that slide into the awning, and then the awning clips on. We have a full awning video where I set up the awning in just a few minutes, so feel free to check that out for the full setup. And then on this side, we have the beautiful windows. This is the living room on the inside, and these windows stretch the full length, have all brass screens. You won't find any fabric screens inside the Bowlus. We also have drain holes throughout, so that's not a missing rivet. And then we have the drip rails up above on the windows as well as on the hatches. Down here, we have the outdoor table mount. That same outdoor table can also be mounted inside on the sofa side, and I'll set those both up for you to see as well. And then as we move back, we have our wheels. So this Bowlus has the highway run tires, the fender skirts, that Bowlus branding. You have a Dexter Torflex axle, which is really fantastic, and you'll appreciate the really great ground clearance underneath. While we're down here as well, you'll notice that we have the stabilization jacks. We have 2 in the back, 2 in the front. Now, because we have a low tongue weight, you do need to put these jacks down in the back anytime you're going to enter the Bowlus. The ones up front are optional as well. Those are a hand crank. You also have the option to add a bit onto a 12-volt drill if you want to make those a little bit more automatic for you. So those are easy to set up or retract right there. And then we'll get over to everyone's favorite topic, the toilet. Now I have a full video on the toilet that shows you exactly how to operate it, why we selected a cassette toilet, why cassette toilets are the best RV toilet. So if you want to head over to see that full review, definitely go check that out. Otherwise, you have a lockable hatch right here for your cassette toilet system. You have that German fan system, making sure this is an odor-free experience. So the cassette toilet just slides out very easily right there and can be dumped into any toilet, porta potty, or sewer cleanout. So it gives you tons of flexibility. This is the system you want if you're going to be off-grid camping. And now let's bring you back to the rear of the Bowlus. So now we've come around to the back of the Bowlus, and this is my favorite view. You have that beautiful spine, you have the port and starboard side coming together at the point, and of course you have that just beautiful view. On features back here, you have the LED tail lights, of course, on either side. You have the backup camera here. That comes to a handheld remote that can be plugged into your tow vehicle, so making backing up really easy. Although backing up in a Bowlus is already very easy because of that single axle, it's very responsive to back up either way. And we have a whole video showing exactly how to back up and park your Bowlus and tow your Bowlus and how easy that is. So we'll make sure to drop that in here as well. We already went over that our freshwater system is entirely on the inside. So right here is going to be where you fill that freshwater tank. So this just turns like that. And then you'd fill it with a water hose or spigot if you were going off grid. Now, if you aren't going off grid, then you have that city water connection right here. So if you're staying at an RV park, you're connecting that taste safe water hose directly from the water spigot into here. Or even if you're at a friend's or family's home, you're able to connect that and then have unlimited pressurized water. Of course, when you're filling your freshwater tank in here, you're going to be turning on the water pump on the inside to create a pressurized system. Here's where your license plate goes. You have those 4 screws, license plate light right there as well. And then you have the bumper. We use all polycarbonate windows on the exterior, so they are incredibly lightweight. Each of these do have a wood blind on side to side, and then you have roll down shades on the ones throughout. Now we'll move back this way and talk all about gray water and power next. So as we move back, we now have our shore power input here. We're going to talk all about power. So first of all, the Bowlus is built for off-grid exploration. And so it has large battery banks. There's 17 kilowatt hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries inside this Bowlus. There's also AeroSolar on the roof. The Volterra was the debut of AeroSolar, integrated solar into that aerodynamic roof. You have 240 watts on the roof on this Volterra. You also have the option to add another 260 watts of suitcase style solar panels as well. So you have that ability to do full solar absorption. Now with the solar absorption, that's going to be enough on a sunny day to run your fridge, to run your lights, to run everything you're not thinking about, water pump, monitoring panels, etc., and charge phones and computers. So you have that really fantastic use on a sunny day just coming from solar. And then not on a sunny day, or if you want to run the air conditioning off grid, that's exactly why we have 17 kilowatt hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries. Our system is a holistically designed integrated system. It comes from the yacht world. So these are not RV batteries, and you don't want RV batteries. You also don't want a dealer install of your battery and solar systems. First of all, they're never done particularly well. They don't give the integrated systems that you need. So even if you have very large lithium batteries, but all of your appliances were not designed for that, you're going to be draining those batteries so quickly, and you're never going to be able to run your air conditioning for very long, maybe only a few hours. You're not going to be able to run the cooktop for very long. You're not going to have all of the outlets live off grid. So when you design that integrated system, you have all of the outlets live off grid. You have the air conditioning off grid. You have all of your systems available to operate off grid without thinking about it. And I think that's kind of the key. This isn't something you're constantly tinkering with. It's the same sort of experience that you would have in your home. You want to turn on some lights, you turn on some lights. You want to run the air conditioner, you run the air conditioner. You don't think about it. And inside the Bowlus, everything inside, if you were to be plugged in, can be run on 15 amp. Again, this is very unique. So if you're staying at a friend's or family's home and they only have a standard outlet, so just a regular 120 volt outlet, you can still run the air conditioner fully plugged in. Again, very unique. Or if you're going to be off grid running air conditioning for an extended period of time, think multiple days, you can also use a Honda 2200 watt generator to re-power up that battery after you drain it from running the air conditioning. We have lots of videos all on power systems if you want to dig in even more, so feel free to go check those out. Now we'll move back towards the gray water system. So the Bowlus gray water system is dumped down here. We already went over that we have a cassette system. So your black water is already separate. That can be dumped into a toilet, into a porta potty, into a vault toilet, into a sewer clean out. Great flexibility over there. We have our gray water tank separate. So that means it can be dumped almost anywhere because it's not dirty in the same way that most RVs do it, where they're combining black and gray water, so contaminated water on the back end. Here it's just gray water. And so what a lot of owners do at their property, if they're using biodegradable soaps, is just empty that and use that runoff to water their lawn, etc. You can of course always dump it at a sewer clean out at a RV park as well. As we move back, this is going to be our emergency exit. All Bowluses are built to code, and so we have all of those safety features inside. We already went over that awning on the other side, but that's that rail up top here. And then as we move back, we'll take you towards and we'll go inside the Bowlus. So welcome inside this beautiful 2024 Volterra. As you can see, the Bowlus floor plan is always going to be the same. We have the kitchen, where I'm standing here near the front door, the living room, then the bathroom, and then the bedroom in the rear. This is the best floor plan in our opinion because it gives you that separate bedroom with real solid doors, something that doesn't happen in most RVs until you get to at least 30 feet, 33 feet long. Otherwise, you just get sort of like a dorm room curtain, if you will. And so this is just so different, so great. You've got that separate living space here, perfect for dining, perfect for remote work. We'll get into all of that, but let's get started in the kitchen here. So here I am, we have all stainless steel countertops. On this side, we have the sink, which is great for washing dishes. The faucet does extend all the way outside for rinsing off feet. And then over here, we have the microwave. Now that's going to run off the battery as well. Lots of outlets for any extra appliances. This has a 3,000 watt inverter. So you can plan on running things like blenders, like toaster ovens, like margarita makers, whatever you'd like can run off of the outlets, even when you're off grid. And then down below, we've got lots of wonderful storage. Now this is where you can really appreciate the fact that Bowlus makes all of its parts. So this drawer is fully made of aluminum, incredibly lightweight, and then it has that beautiful soft close drawer as well. And then everything's going to be hard pull. Why do you want hard pull? Because we don't want these drawers opening while you're in transit. So you have one drawer here and one drawer below. And then cabinet wise on this side, you also have this cabinet under the sink, which is perfect for trash cans, those bulkier items here. And then up above, we have those shelves. We have another drawer here, which is perfect for any extra items that you might want to bring and have access to. Then you have those porthole windows in the kitchen as well in this 2024. Great LED lighting throughout. Over on this side, we've got another shelf up above. We have that 2-burner induction cooktop, and that switches on right here on this outlet. Next to this outlet is the switch for the porch light too. And then down below, we have that amazing 12-volt fridge and freezer. This has a German compressor system, so it's incredibly efficient. I find running it on level 3 is more than enough to keep everything cool, even in really hot temperatures. And so you have the fridge down below and freezer up top within here, 3.1 cubic foot refrigerator. And then there's also a latch on here to keep that secure while you're in transit. And then over on this side, you have the 3-compartment cupboard and lots of places to store all of those kitchen items. As I move here, I want to point out the lashing system. So this 2024 Volterra has a lashing system right here. These are going to be on all 3 of the uprights. So you have the wall between the kitchen and the living room and the bathroom, and the bathroom and the bedroom. These are all going to have this L-track system there. This is amazing for securing items like paddle boards, kayaks, bikes, or simply a dish towel. You can get lots of these, put them all on one side, put them everywhere. You can customize on how you want to do that. While I'm here, I'm also wanting to point out that beautiful birch wood. So this is all real wood on the interior, UV coated on all 6 sides, so every edge as well. No MDF inside Bowluses, and that's really critical. You want real wood. It's just amazing and gives such a light feel. We don't have any laminate either inside of a Bowlus, and we have lots of videos that dive even more into the material choices we make and why our exterior, we already discussed that, but interior materials are very, very different from anything else in this world. As I look up, we have that beautiful vent system. You'll notice all brass screens again. What's really great about the vents is they're located at the high point and there's no flat roof in a Bowlus. Everything's curved. So you have that natural thermosiphon. Cool air is coming in through the windows and then up through the vents and keeps it nice and cool in here, even at warmer temperatures. And of course, when it gets really warm, we do have air conditioning that runs off the grid as well. Now let's come forward to the living room and let me show you off this space. So now we're inside the living room, and some features I want to point out right away are those beautiful skylights up above. Now those both do have wood blinds in case you are wanting to darken those. This living room also sleeps 4, so this dinette turns into a twin bed that's 6'1" in length, and this sofa also turns into a bed that's 6'1" in length. So if you're traveling with your family of 4, this is a really great kids' bedroom as well. Then you have that separate space from the bedroom, and I'm going to show you how the Bowlus signature door system works. But inside we have the dinette on this side. It's really comfortable, really oversized, an amazing 2-person workstation. So what you'll find when you sit down is that you're able to have 2 large laptops open at the same time. Adding a Starlink mini on the exterior makes the Bowlus a perfect remote office situation. Then you have these beautiful linen blinds in here, which slide open. All of these windows slide open as well. So you have just incredible viewpoint windows throughout the living room, which is really fantastic. Surrounded in that beautiful birch wood that we've already talked about. And then storage-wise, when we were outside, we were talking about how Bowlus has a low center of gravity. So any of you that might feel a little claustrophobic inside your average RV, this is not your average RV. None of our storage is up top, it's down low. And so you'll find really ample storage down here. Just to put my hand there to give you a size. So this is similar to a 5-drawer dresser that you might have in your space at home. And then we also have the pet bowls, which are fully removable if you don't plan on traveling with a pet, but really fantastic as well. And these are removable too, so you can store extra gear under the bowls. This Bowlus also comes with the signature dog bed that is right here under the dinette. We also have a full UV air filter with UVC as well. And so that's cleaning the air multiple times per hour so that you always have that fresh air inside. Speaking of air conditioning, we already said that the air conditioner is really fantastic because it operates off of 15 amp and also operates off the battery for up to 32 hours inside this 2024 Volterra. That's the vent right there for the air conditioner. And then the heating. The heating is that hydronic heating system. And yes, the floors are heated. So we run that hydronic fluid throughout the floors, dissipating the heat with an aluminum panel and then our signature Bowlus flooring on top of that. So you have multiple layer flooring, really warm and cozy in the winter, which is just absolutely lovely. And then the hydronic heating also has radiators throughout. So that, like we said outside, that hydronic heating with the water lines inside, with the fresh water tanks inside as well, perfect for 4-season camping. So just imagine yourself cozy in here, it's snowing outside, totally capable for that type of exploration, as well as the hot climates. And so we already talked about that natural thermosiphon, but when it gets above 90, 95, we kick on that AC. 3 vents for that AC, so 1 in here, 1 in the bathroom, and 1 in the bedroom. And then also noticing this feature right here, and there's one at the foot of the bed as well, that is a magnetic tablet mount. So what a lot of our owners like to do is get a large tablet. There's a magnet that goes right on the back of that tablet, and then you can just put that tablet right there, and that's how you can do any of your streaming needs. Connect that to the Starlink Mini, which is of course an option, and then you'll have internet wherever you're traveling. Also pointing out our lashing system here. And then as I move back, I want to show off this bathroom a little bit. But first of all, we have those 2 yours and mine closets on either side, so no one has to share. And all of those are lockable. We have those really beautiful locks on there, so nothing's opening when you're in transit, which is my #1 RV pet peeve. And then in here, we've got a place for linens up top, lots of storage. We've got hanging bar and then a place for shoes down below. And we also have a full-length mirror right here on this side. And then over on the other side, we have the same storage for linens up above, a hanging rod and shoes. And then there's a strap for securing extra items. What are those extra items? You've got your sofa side table. So that table just slips in right here. So you can have dining for 4, which is really lovely. And then that same table goes outside as your outdoor table. So everything in a Bowlus does double duty. We're all about efficiency, all about that design forward idea. And then also on this side of the closet, you would have your skylight blinds up above. And if you wanted to store your awning inside, you can of course do that. But in this Bowlus, we are storing it in the outdoor storage. And then as I move back, I want to show off how this door system works. So first of all, I'm going to close the door that goes right here between the bathroom and the bedroom, and you'll hear that beautiful magnetic click when I do it. Are you ready? And then over here, I'm going to open up this door, and that is going to close off our bathroom from our bedroom. So you'll appreciate when you're in the living room here, there's actually 2 solid doors between the bedroom and the living room. So if one partner gets up early, you have your space. If you have kids sleeping outside, you have your space. This enables you to travel for longer periods of time where everyone doesn't feel like they're on top of each other because you have that separate space while you're still within that incredibly efficient 27-foot floor plan, which can fit into most of the state and national park campgrounds, which is why we're at the specific length that we are. So now I'm going to take you into the bathroom. So we open up that door and then step in. On this side, we have the vanity and of course, toilet next to me over here. Let's go over this area first. So you have that stainless steel countertop, vanity sink, medicine cabinet with magnet and mirror on front as well. And then really great lighting. I always love the lighting inside the Bowlus. It's bright, it's airy, you can see everything, and it just feels so warm. And then over here we have the router on switch. This Bowlus does have a router where you can insert a SIM card. So usually a data only SIM card, up to 2 of them. So what some people like to do is get one cellular provider and then another from another provider. That way they have really great coverage. This is redundant if you plan on getting a Starlink Mini, so I would think about which one best fits your needs first. There's also a cellular booster inside this Bowlus, which boosts your cell service as well. And then over here we have the hydronic heating panel. That heating panel is also going to do hot water. So what's really fantastic about the Bowlus system is this Volterra was optioned with the optional propane tank. And so you can operate it off of either electric or propane. You have that complete flexibility. But like we talked about earlier, if you're gonna be using your Bowlus in cold weather camping, then you're gonna be using it on that propane. And up here on this panel, you tell the system how you want it to heat. So I'm gonna set the thermometer to this level and I want it to be powered on propane or I want it to be powered on electric. And then if you're plugged into both, you can actually set priority. So that's kind of fun as well. Sometimes what I like to do, even if I have electrical service, is I like to heat up on propane because that will heat up even faster and then switch over to electrical to maintain. So it all just has to do with, your experience with camping and doing the settings for that, but incredibly warm and cozy. Next to that, we have our monitoring panel. So we have our freshwater and gray water monitoring panel, as well as our water pump. And then over on the next side, we have our inverter panel. So this says whether we want to invert power from the battery or if we want to charge the battery, or if we don't want to invert power at all and we're just going to use the 12-volt system inside. So you really have a lot of flexibility in there. Then you have the master on-off switch next to it, and that shuts everything off into storage mode, including making sure there's no draws on the battery. So that's really great for putting your Bowlus into storage when you're not using it. And then underneath we have this fantastic touch screen panel. So this tells you if you're plugged into shore power, how much power is coming in from shore, what your battery's at, what your solar absorption's at, and also what you're using. So it gives you a really great idea on monitoring your power system and how much power you have left and what you're using in real time as well. And then down below, we have the air conditioning panel. Like I said, that's coming in through the vents in the living room, bathroom, and bedroom. So really great flexibility. This also has a dehumidifying mode as well if you're in maybe one of our more humid climates. And then as I move back, we're now looking at the toilet on this side. We already went over all the advantages for the cassette toilet. You have the blue button on this side that adds water into the bowl to rinse the bowl. If you've ever used a boat toilet, it's going to be similar to that. We're keeping the bowl dry, we're flushing, and then we're not adding water back to it. What's really great about the cassette system that I just want to mention is that it is actually much more water efficient. So unlike your standard RV toilet where you're flushing a whole bunch of water with it, you're not flushing as much water. Therefore, your water tank is being more efficient for that type of use. This is also where you'll find the glycol tank inside and where you would refill it every 2 years. Air conditioning vent as well as LED light. Lots of hooks throughout. So we've got hooks here, hooks on the doors, all of that, a very efficient space. And now I'm going to invite you in and take you over here to the shower. So now I'm going to show off the shower. So the Bowlus is going to be a sit-down shower, which is really comfortable. And I have those extra water tanks in here. So this Bowlus Volterra has a 30-gallon freshwater tank, and then you can fit an additional 20 gallons. Each of these are 5 gallons right in here with the shower. There's a strap to secure them. If we remove these, we just have an incredibly long shower and emergency exit here. We have that Italian marine shower head, soap pump bottles. We also have a clothes hanging rack right here for drying. So that extends all the way over here. And then when we're ready to shower, we can close this curtain, which I'll do now, and have our shower. So now I'm inside this beautiful Bowlus bedroom. We have it set up in the beautiful twin beds right now. These also do convert into a king bed. So 80 inches wide, 6'7" in length, really comfortable. That wedge is in the closet right now. So that would just fill in this space right here. We've got really plush headboards, perfect for reading a book in bed. Lights up above. Both of these windows here, those do slide open and close with the brass screens. So really great for airflow. You also have that air conditioning vent in here too. And then you do have power down below. So if you need a CPAP machine or anything else like that, you have full 120 volt power inside your bedroom. At the foot of the bed, we have those beautiful fixed windows here. Those do have wood blinds. Those look like that. Those just simply fit in to those windows right up there. And then also at the foot of the bed, we have a tablet mount like we had in the living room. We have USB charging next to it. We have that heater booster fan that's part of the hydronic heating system for your toes in the winter. And then the valve up on the top is the air bleed valve for that hydronic heating system. So all of that just makes this Bowlus bedroom just so comfortable, all of that birch wood, and just such a warm, cozy feeling. Thank you so much for joining us for this tour of the 2024 Bowlus Volterra that's part of our Certified Pre-Owned program. We hope you'll agree this is an absolutely beautiful example of a 2024 Bowlus and a wonderful example of what 2 years on the road looks like in terms of quality. It looks as beautiful as the first day it was delivered. If you have any questions that we didn't answer in this walkthrough video, don't forget to comment or give us a call at Bowlus of Santa Barbara. We'd be happy to answer your questions. And if you'd like a personal tour, don't forget to hop over to our website and schedule one today. We offer virtual tours and in-person tours as well. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you on the next one.